Apparently what happened? I think I made a wrong turn. I think that's what happened. She's vapor locking. Oh boy.
Well, it's morning of day 2. We're in Pontiac, Illinois. We stayed here last night because we would have had to drive a lot further to find hotels. And that's something to keep in mind. But we got here in the afternoon. By the time we did a couple of museums and things that were in town, it was kind of time to check in anyway. So we decided to stay here. There's a Wally's over there, kind of a knockoff Buc-ee's. It was okay. We are headed down towards Atlanta, Illinois. I think there's a couple little stops in between. Atlanta is one of the things I really wanted to do because they have a place called the American Giants Museum that looks pretty cool. A lot of the Muffler Man type stuff, and then making our way on down to Bloomington. We're trying to make St. Louis today, so it's going to be a long day, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. This is pretty cool. I watch people's videos and what you see on the internet and everything. It's pretty neat to see. So this book we're using, it has step by step, just things to do and written directions, tells you where to go, all that good stuff. But each one of these has a section. Like we're on the 3rd map for Illinois, and each one, like this is the first town we're going to come to after we leave here this morning. And then, we'll just drive through and try to hit as much of this stuff as we can. So we came to Funk's Grove. Unfortunately, they don't open for another 45 minutes, and we've got a lot to do today, so we can't wait. So it's one of the things that's really tough to do is to plan the time to do everything that you want to do, because things don't open till certain times, but then you have to have enough time to get where you're going too. So So this is the world's largest covered wagon. We're in Lincoln, Illinois now. This was the next stop after Atlanta. We found another little gas station. Got a Sinclair dinosaur out front.
All of them around the top there are my partner's retirement.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna save it till he retires. The only ones for sale is a Goodyear.
Well, we got a little off track here in Springfield. I guess we're in Springfield still. I'm really not sure. But we stopped at the Cozy Dog because we all wanted to try a corn dog and check everything out. And they're closed. Pretty cool little place, but not sure why they're closed, but
Friendly, what happened? I think I made a wrong turn. I think that's what happened. She's vapor locking. Oh boy.
so we're at this old drive-in in Litchfield, Illinois, and the wheels totally fell off the route. My lovely assistant Karen finally got us back on route. I was about to lose my mind because we drove about 30 miles the wrong direction, and yeah, so that was fun. But we're I think we're back on track now. I couldn't really tell you for sure, but we did see some historical Route 66 signs, so that's a good sign. But we're gonna keep heading to St. Louis. I haven't seen a Coke machine like this in a very long time. I think my first welding job in the break room, they had one of these Coke machines like this. So this is one of those things you drive your car up on, like displayed for like a car lot. And this, the tree has grown into this thing. It's been here so long. And that is a pretty good sized tree. That's crazy. I'd like to know the story behind that. We stopped at Henry's Bunny Ranch. There's a lot of rabbits. There's a whole bunch more over there. So after getting lost and everything we did that day, we decided we all wanted to go to the St. Louis Arch, and I wanted to have enough time to go there and actually enjoy it. So we actually took a little detour from 66 and hopped on the interstate and headed to St. Louis.
Well, we had to take a little bit of a detour, but we found this thing. This thing, that is absolutely incredible. Well, it's been a couple days since we got back. We had a blast. I mean, it was a great trip. The weather was perfect for it. There's a couple things that I would note. You know, Route 66 isn't a road anymore. So you're traveling on Illinois 53, 116, like, you know, you're changing routes because Route 66 isn't an actual road anymore. So we used an app that helped us, Illinois Route66.org, and then we used the Route 66 app by TripBucket. But the most helpful thing that we had was that book, Easy Route 66. That one was the 5th edition. I think it's the most updated version. So between those, that really helped. And on the side of the road, you really have to look for the historic Route 66 signs. And then on top of that, you have the 1926 to 1940 route. And you also have the 1940 to 1977 route. So depending on what attractions you want to see, they might be on the 1926 route or they might be on the 1940 route. So you have to keep that in mind. That book was really handy for that. And then if you do any of the little side trips, the thing you got to watch out for there is when you get off of 66, if you just try to use your regular name, like Google Maps or Waze or something like that, it's going to take you the most direct route. And 66 might not have been the most direct route, and you might miss something. And then another thing that happened to us is we went to lunch, and it was a few miles off of 66, and what happened was I made a wrong turn when we left there. I was on the right road to meet back up with 66, but it was the wrong direction. I went about 30 miles the wrong way. That was fun. So we ended up missing a few things. But overall, it was an absolute blast. We had a lot of fun. We're wanting to go back, do the rest of it. And I think what we're going to do is where we got lost at. We're going to start there in Illinois and try to do the rest of it. So, but anyway, that's going to do it for this one. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.